Boracay is known for its beaches, its views, and meeting lots of fun, interesting people. One of my favorite places here in the Philippines is Boracay. And as many times as I've been, you probably know that. It's the beach, beautiful weather, great location. To me, that's what the Philippines is all about. What I want to do today, and I'm going to use some old footage from pre-COVID, some of it's during COVID, so you'll see a mix of mask and no mask. Don't let that surprise you. I want to do just a quick couple minutes on each of, well, like half a dozen of the major beaches there in Boracay, and just kind of give a quick overview of each of the half dozen major beaches. I didn't hit every beach because there's a lot of beaches on the island. A couple of them we couldn't get to. Access was closed. There are individual videos, much longer and more in depth, for each of these beaches if you want to find them. I might be able to locate them and put them in the description below. Not sure. So if you're going to Boracay, hopefully this will help you look at each of the main beaches and decide which one is right for which activity you have in mind. So without further ado, let's go to the beach. We're going to start at Bulabog Beach. It's on the other side of the island from White Beach. Don't worry, we will get to White Beach soon. Bulabog is very flat. It's not a deep water section, and you see it at low tide. You'll see it's very flat and smooth, so it's perfect for all the wind sports. You'll see the kite boarders, kite surfers, all those. And at low tide, you'll see the locals out doing some grocery shopping. It's a neat little mix. It's got some small hotels. It's not anywhere near as crowded as White Beach. It's mostly going to be the kite boarders, wind surfers, and that. And then you have a few of the locals. They're going to do some fishing out here. And a lot of kids come out at night for volleyball and soccer. Although they may call it football. I'm not sure what they call it here. It's a narrow beach, and it gets pretty crowded when the weather is windy. It gets really neat. We can sit out and watch these guys for hours. It is not a good swimming beach. But if you want to come out here and watch them on a good windy day, we could get a nice table at a restaurant, watch this stuff for hours. It's actually quite a lot of fun. Diniwid Beach is a little more private beach. A lot of these smaller beaches don't get the traffic of White Beach. The easiest way is to take a trike to City Mall, and they'll bring you around they get pretty close to the beach. You can also get a sailboat to bring you to the beach. It's got a number of rocks, which makes for not as good like actual swimming, but good for snorkeling and splashing around. There's some nice hotels and houses nestled up in the hills. There's a few boutique hotels on the beach. It does not seem to be very crowded any time that we have been here. On the end of the beach, there's a big walkway that goes around to White Beach. You will see a number of fishermen out here. They'll have some small nets, and they're catching what little they can get off the shore. As you can see here, it is a very rocky beach, so it's not as good for some of the running and playing, which I guess is why it doesn't seem as big with the tourists. So these are some of the more private beach. If you're looking to get away from the crowds, Diniwid is a great one for that. It's very nice view, beautiful water. And then it's got this neat little path we're going to try and run around if we don't run into other people. Whoops, turn around. They built this path, who knows when. Somebody does, I'm sure. And it goes out around all the way and connects to White Beach. So you can actually walk from White Beach to Diniwid. It's a bit of a walk, but it comes out right here on the very far end of Station 1. But we're going to skip over White Beach, and we're going to look at the other end of white beach is Angol Beach. This one is even harder to get to. There is no road that actually comes to this beach. You come in at station 3 and you walk. So it gets very little traffic and it makes it wonderful. You got this kind of a big rock cave-ish thing you walk through to get to it, and it is as rocky or more rocky than Diniwid Beach. So again, not great if you're doing serious swimming, but if you're out for picture taking or running around, it's great.
Really? Bye-bye, Tito Tim. Feel free. Oh my God. Oh my. There's a Joe lost.
Yes, there was a Joe loose. I got away, but I came back. This beach is probably one of the most Instagrammable places on the island. This one is really pretty. We've seen some local kids here. We never saw anybody else here. Now, granted, this was during COVID. But this one's so far off the beaten path, it's not going to get very busy. It's got the big cliff areas, the rocks out in the water. It's really photogenic. We like this beach a lot. Very private. So again, if you want to get away from the crowds of White Beach, both ends, Station 1 and Station 3, each have a good beach to get away from the crowds without having to travel. If you don't mind a little bit of travel, the other end of the island has Boracay Newcoast. This is probably the largest, widest beach we've found. It is also by far the cleanest beach we've found here on the islands. They like to pretend that it's a super private beach. It's part of the mega world construction area. It's houses, condos, restaurants, hotels. It's also, as you can see, they rake the beach. It's the only one I've seen that gets raked, which is standard in a lot of touristy places. But they want to pretend that it's private. But all beaches in the Philippines are public. Access can be limited, however. But if you come in here to go to a restaurant or to shop, you're in. So it's not like they're going to make sure you're a resident of Mega World to come here. Or perhaps they let us come in because I'm a foreigner. I don't know. But we came here 3 times, never had a problem getting in. But on their paperwork, they like to pretend it's a private beach. It was a really nice beach, real pretty, good for swimming, very clean, very well maintained. She kind of lost her mind, but such is life. This is not a beach. This is a sailboat. One of the most fun things we did was take this sailboat around the island. If you get a good boat, they know where all the best snorkeling is. Cattle boat one time, and they took us to some really dead coral, which I guess is good, because if you're taking 1 million people, they're going to kill the coral. But this little private sailboat took us to some decent snorkeling, and this is actually, most of this you can reach from the shore if you want to go out and swim on your own, but taking the boat right around to it is so much easier. And they'll take you to the beaches, and you go somewhere for a nice lunch. I'm sure they get a kickback from the restaurant owner, but who cares? It's all good. This was, I think it was about 1,200, 1,500. My brother said it was for the whole boat. I'm pretty sure it was for each person, and he lied to me.
We are in Puka Beach.
Puka Beach is way up past Newcoast, and it changes. We've come here before, and they have all these toys, all the inflatables, the boats, paddle boards, and you get full use of everything for the entire day. All you have to do is buy one overpriced drink. And it was a great deal. That's me enjoying the paddle boards. I'm not very good, but I enjoy it, and that's all that matters. When we came back through here, all these little shops were gone. So I don't know if they're going to come back, but this was great when it was here. You paid like 500 pesos for what should have been a 200 peso drink, but you got all of this water activities was included. They had snorkels, masks, paddle boards, inflatables, everything. There's a small fish market down on the end of the beach, and it's just really a cool beach. It's very crowded sometimes, and a lot of locals come here, but it was always fun. Real pretty, mostly clean. This is actually a nice beach. I think because there's less tourists, there's less trash. I hate to say that, but such is life. Puka Shell Beach is really a fun afternoon. Then of course there's White Beach. That's what we're all here for, and we know it. White Beach is the premier beach of the island. It's a white sand beach, 4 kilometers long. The entire side of the island there has a beautiful sunset view. So this is where the crowds come. As you can see, this was Christmas, whatever year this was, 2017 maybe. Really crowded, but beautiful. And even when it's crowded, it's not that bad. Hey, so mean. Crowds come and go depending on the season. We've been here in the rainy season. We've been here in the peak season. We've been here in super peak season. It's always good. This is our favorite beach. We love it for the views, the fun, the crowds, the restaurants. That's what we love about it. We're not looking for a private beach. If you want a quiet private beach, they do have some on the island. This is not that beach, and I don't want it to be. I love this beach as it is. But this is why all the restaurants and hotels are here along this beach, is because they have the sunset. It is beautiful. Every day, lovely sunsets. Now during COVID, it was a bit too private. Half the stuff was closed. Took a lot of the fun out of it, honestly. On the beach is D Mall. As you can see, during COVID, D Mall was not very busy. They were hurting. It was really sad. During the regular season, D Mall has some great shopping, a lot of restaurants, really fun. Love Jammers. It's 24-hour. Food's not particularly amazing, but when you need that, what is that meal after drinking? Drunkfest? Breakfast? Drunkfest? Yeah, that's where you go. 3 a.m. tacos, man, that's the place. D-Mall does much better during regular season. Hopefully, it will be back soon. The sand here is unbelievable. It's the way it's so soft, it doesn't get hot in the sun, and they can make these crazy sand castles out of it. The way it clumps together beautifully. It has got to be the most amazing sand I've ever seen. I've lived in Hawaii, California, Texas, been to beaches all over the Pacific in the Navy. Nothing comes close to White Beach. This is by far our favorite. And we love the crowds and the partying. Enjoy your day in paradise.